Hello and welcome to Crafting by Moonlight. This afternoon we're going to be doing a few tutorials, and before we get started on what they are, I'd like to address a few things. I had an opportunity to meet someone that has actually seen my videos, so I was really happy to meet that person and chat with them for a little bit. One of the things that they had asked me was why I don't show my face. So I don't show my face mainly because I've grown up with a lot of judgment over how I dress, how I look, what I do, how I act. And the great thing about me is that I'm a walking conundrum. I look one way, act a total different. I come off as one person, but I'm actually completely different. So I thought it would be better if I just kept my face out of the spotlight, so to speak. Also, as you can hear in the background, we have a 5-month-old kitten, and yesterday he laid on the couch all day, and today he's up and running around. So let's get started. What we're going to do today is we're going to do these. These are Marauder map Harry Potter themed invitations, and I'm going to show you how to create these with a little special flair. You can see this now, but when you're doing them, you're not going to be able to see it, so it'll actually look like it appears just like it did in the movie. Also, another thing is that, as you can tell, it's not evening. That was another question that was addressed to me. Why is it Crafting by Moonlight? Two reasons. One, when I worked for Michaels, I actually moonlit as a crafter. So that's how the idea of Crafting by Moonlight came up. And second, normally I do all my crafting at night anyways. So they just kind of fit together. One more thing before we continue on. As you can see, I'm sure my shirt is distracting. Once again, this kind of gives you a little hint of who I am. My best friend actually created this sweatshirt and does sell them, but she created it just for me because of the way I am. So as you can see, it says, "I paint with the blood of my enemies." You can find that online if you'd like to purchase it. So let's get started. So this actually opens up. So like I said, we literally have the Marauders map, and then it opens up even more. So when doing this, you want to keep it to where you don't activate the ink. And it's really simple, really basic. The only problem is like I said, you can't see what you're doing. So you kind of have to remember where you are, and you can't really pencil it in either. So this does make this craft a little bit more difficult, but well worth it. So the tools that you're going to need, I actually purchased these at Costco. They're like little to-go cups. I usually carry at least one or two. I actually have a whole stack on my desk that I use for different things. You're going to need at least one of these. You're going to need some lemon juice. You're going to need a paintbrush, okay? Or this I actually bought at my craft store. It is a dip, well, what they call a calligraphy pen, but it's actually a dip pen for writing. I suggest, especially if you want to do this, you can do it with a dip pen, or you can do it with a paintbrush, whatever you're more comfortable with. I happen to not really be comfortable with paintbrushes. It's not really my thing. So I don't mind picking up a dip pen and using this. This one actually happens to be very cheap. It came with a nib set that I bought. So when you go into the calligraphy aisle, real quick, you'll see that they have different types of pens. There's actually a pen without a nib. This is called a nib, the tip. There's one without one in it, and then it comes with a set of nibs. Now, this one was actually in that set, so I went ahead and purchased it, and then I actually used this one for stuff like this. And the reason why you kind of want a cheapy one like this is because this is an acid, which all of you know, I'm sure, but because it is an acid, it is going to rust this tip or blacken it. And it's going to smell horrible, but it's okay. It's kind of a one-time use thing unless you want to do this on the regular. Now, when you were in school, or at least when I was in school, we learned things like this on a regular basis on how to do secret writing and things like that. So, you want to get a piece of paper. Now, this piece of paper is huge. It's really huge. This is a art book that I picked up at Michael's. I think I used a coupon or they had them on sale. That's usually when I go and get things like this because I don't use it very often. So if I don't need it, I usually get them when they're on sale and try to buy two, and then it lasts me a little bit longer. So this one is Excel. It's Canson. Mixed media is what you need. You need a mixed media. And this one is 14 by 17 inches. So the thing about this is that the mixed media is something that you really want because it'll hold up to what we need it for. But it also is a nice heavy kind of cardstock. But it says acrylic, watercolor, pen, and pencil. So that's what it means by mixed media. So like I said, this is what I purchased. That's the brand, Canson. XL is the series, I guess. And then, like I said, it is 14 by 17 inches. So you're going to need that. This came in a set of 60, as you can see down at the bottom. You're going to need one of those. You're going to need one sheet. One sheet is going to be the entire thing. So if I open this up and I unfold it, you'll see that we don't have much room to cut. You can't cut anything off because you're going to use the whole thing. So first things first, you want to fold this. You want to fold this first. So we're going to start from the sides. Okay, as you can see, we're going to start from the sides and go in. So what you're going to want to do is try to line up your, let me scoot back a little bit. There we go. Try to line this up a little bit, and then when you fold them in, try not to fold the middle. If you need to fold the middle, or what I usually do is I actually do like a little, what we call a top crease or a mini crease at the top. That tells me where I need to fold that down, and you don't want to go too far with that. You only want to go maybe half an inch, quarter of an inch if you can see it. So when I open it back up, see there's a little divot there. So that gives me my running start. Afterwards, we're going to take one side and we're going to fold it in and try to line it up as best as you can. Try to get it as even and as creased as you can. I use my fingernails and kind of run it down the side. Okay, then we're going to fold the other side in. And then once again, you want to try to not make them overlap, but you want them even. So you might want to start from the middle and press out. Okay. Then we're going to go here and here. Okay, so now the inside is done. Now we've got to go for this side. Now once again, you can crease it, but I would suggest not. So at this point, you want to try to eyeball it the best that you can. I'm going to go ahead and crease. Like I said, you want to try to make sure that you don't crease too much. You just want to know where you need to go with that. And it'll smooth back out once it's done. So now we're going to go back in. I'm going to press, and it's going to be harder because, once again, this is actually kind of like a cardstock. It's very hard to fold, especially after a few times. There we go. Okay. So they may not be even, or, you know, they might be a little open. It's okay because that's how it was in the actual movie. Now, you want to start with your beginning openings. So let me tilt the camera down a little bit. So, I solemnly swear I am up to no good. And then it says, iron the paper, high setting, no steam. So then that kind of, this one will actually heat first, so that when they see this, they have all this open to them. They can see all of that. So what you want to do is you want to put this one on first, iron your paper so it comes out, and then go back in and start drawing and leaving it. Do not iron it. So let's start with this one. And as you can see, I did little footprints down at the bottom that kind of go up and this and that. And then on the inside, which is kind of hard to tell, but I actually did not, it will start fading. So you will be able to see after a long time. But what you want to do is try to get these done as fast as possible and give them out. So up at the top it says Mrs. Mooney, Wormtail, Padfoot, and Prongs are proud to present the Marauder's map. And then this is the castle, Whomping Willow, Hagrid's hut, the forest. There's actually a doe there, another tree, another part of the castle, or Hogsmeade, things like that. And then I threw in like the little mermaid tail here, little tentacles here for the octopus and stuff like that, part of the movie and the books. And then on the inside is where you're actually going to put your invitation. So what I did is that we were going to do stations, different places where the kids were going to go and have like herbology class and potions class and things like that. So that's what this is it's actually a map for them, where they need to check in at, where they needed to go, and things like that. You can do that, or you can do a simpler one where you can actually show a map of how to get to your house. Or you could just put the simple information in here and then do like a little art drawing on the inside. It's totally up to you. So we're already at 13 minutes. So here's our cup. Shake up your juice. And I'm only going to do a little bit because I'm not going to do the whole thing. I just want to show you exactly how this is going to go down and then go from there. You can wash this. I believe I washed all of her invitations in a diluted down version. This one is 100% lemon juice. And then I think what I did was I washed the paper to give it more of an antique look and ironed it, and then did my, drawings and stuff like that. It is a process, but if you've got time and it's something, really special that you want to do for your children, it is well worth it. My daughter thoroughly enjoyed herself on her birthday and really enjoyed everything. So what I want to start with first is I'd like to do a little scroll work. So you want to have enough in your cup to get ink onto the pen. And then I actually do some scrolls. And it does take some practice to get the hang of it. So as you can see, that didn't even show up. and you can barely see it when it's wet. So you have to kind of work fast so you don't accidentally overlap because you cannot see it once it dries. And then what I try to do was things like making it kind of diamond shaped. That way you can see it. And the more it soaks in, or the more you have on your paper, the darker it will be. So that's one of the things that you want to keep a lookout for. And then you just want to keep scrolling down. In about a week or so, I'm going to actually post the wands that a friend of mine and I did together, but she did most of the work. So, as you can see, we are now, I'm all the way down to here. And it's not very far, but I also didn't bump out. You actually want to try to do a triangle when you do, because your words have to go in here. And as you can see, it's completely dry. So, like I said, what you want to do is maybe wash it first with a diluted concentrate of this. And then once it's dry, go back over it with the scroll work and then iron that out. And then open this up. And this will be where your Marauder map picture will be. Now, another thing that people have said is, that I've seen, is that they get the refillable ink cartridges and basically print them out. They put the juice inside of the refillable ink cartridges and then run these through the printer. I don't like that because I don't know what it's going to do to my printer. I mean, can't really see it, but see the dark line right there on the tip of the pen? That's already from just it being in lemon juice for the last 3 minutes or so. So it is well worth it. Take your time. Make sure you plan months or even a year in advance. But it is well worth it for the kids and for you. It's a nice surprise, especially when the parents iron it and lo and behold, this picture shows up, or the kids can iron it. Another thing that they can do is use a straightener to bring out the color, but you want the heat is what it is. You actually want to heat it up. So that's it for this tutorial. It's really kind of simple, really kind of easy. It just takes a lot of patience. And if you liked it, great. Like and subscribe. The little feet print, they look exactly how they are. Now, if you can get a stamp online that have little feet print like this, you can do that too. You can literally lay this like on a shallow surface and do a bunch of stamping with it. There's not a problem with that. Like I said, you can also use the paintbrush. So real quick, let's go ahead and do an outline of a lake right here. Like I said, I'm not really a painter. Painting's really not my thing, especially when I can't see where I'm working. So once again, I've completely lost where I'm working, but I can faintly see where I left it. So you can do that way. If it's faster for you to paint, you can say, you can do your scrolls up here. You want to hold them closed like that. And if you can do, or you can paint everything and then use the pen to do the lettering. So that's it. My name is Alice. This is Crafting by Moonlight. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment box below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks so much, and have a great day.